Hey, it's Tony Brueski, and this is our week in review over the weekend, taking a look back at some of the most compelling conversations and stories that we've covered for you of the last week. Brand new episodes back Monday morning, bright and early, 5 a.m. here on the podcast.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring defense attorney, Hidden Killers daily contributor, and host of the Defense Diaries podcast, Bob Motta.
I'm wanting to get your reaction to this, and you're the first person I'm asking this. When I was talking to Under Sheriff Gary Upton last night about the case, he had told me that Eddie Virden, the sheriff of Osage, who we've seen on a lot of television interviews and such, with the big hat, he was there. He was actually waiting to talk to BTK in prison in Kansas, right as the press conference was being given by the district attorney, who was saying that there's not enough evidence right now to convict and we're going to throw it over to the OSBI. He got the reaction from BTK moments after it happened. And BTK came in to Eddie Virden and said, "So, looks like you don't have enough evidence for a case." And that's how the conversation started. Kind of a defiant, kind of a FU, kind of a, I don't know. To me, it sounds very much like a BTK beginning of a game. Look, you don't quite have that yet now, do you? I could be, interpreting that wrong, but I found that to be a very interesting response from Dennis right after the DA said that we don't have enough yet.
Yeah, man, it's like, I think that we started to kind of we poked our heads around the subject the last time we talked in terms of and him, just kind of wanting to be back into the limelight. And I think I agree with you. I think that was exactly what it was. I think it's him, just poking and prodding and, playing the game, which a lot of these guys do. I have to believe that he's reading all of his press clippings, as he's sitting there. And, I think that there's an aspect of him that loves the fact that his case is front page news every day. So, ultimately, you get the other side of that though, where he, is he going to start taking credit for stuff that he didn't do in order just to cause wild goose chases? You know what I mean? It's because I get that vibe about Israel Keys a lot, We have all those taped interviews with his Fed interviews with Keys, where basically, to me, a lot of it seems like he was just leading the Feds on a wild goose chase, to be honest with you. And my friend, Josh, who does True Crime Bullshit, which is a great podcast and investigative podcast, he's digging in, he's investigating every aspect of those interviews. And, I just always personally, and I'm basing it on nothing other than my own experience with dealing with guys like this, that, he may be full of it. And I get that same vibe from Rader, to be honest. And that's not to say that he's not responsible for some of these. You know what I mean?
No,
I just think he's going to make it difficult on them. And I think that he's going to toy with them at every opportunity that he can.
He wants to play the game. Now, whether he did it or not, he wants to play the game, and everybody is his pawn.
100%.
You're consuming the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.